This episode has been brought to you by me and my business, Lauren Grace Inspirations. I am a channel of the light and work with spirit guides, angels, the higher self, and passed over loved ones to provide you with support, clarity, and encouragement. Using oracle cards, mediumship, and clairvoyance, my readings will leave you feeling comforted and empowered. I have various reading options available, ranging from 30-minute readings to 60-minute readings to group sessions. I also work with professionals to help them gain clarity in business and life purpose. To book a reading with me, simply head to laurengraceinspirations.com. Hello and good evening and welcome to the show. Lauren Grace here. I am the owner-operator of Lauren Grace Inspirations, and I'm the host of the Afterlight podcast, new episode every Thursday. And I am a business mentor and a medium and a seer. And I would like to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll give everybody a minute to sort of come into this session. It's so funny because when I went live, I accidentally went live in the wrong channel. So I had to come back and start again, but that is all good. Spirit has a way of being like, girl, what are you doing? And when I noticed, I went, oh, right. So I came out and now here we are. So I hope you're doing well. Please do share this with friends and your family, anybody who you think needs a dose of inspiration, dose of wisdom. They don't have to sign on for a reading. Normally what I do is I just see the names that I'm drawn to, the names that Spirit wants me to read for. And very often there's messages within those readings for everybody who's watching the live. And one of the things that I just absolutely love about that is that sometimes I'll be doing readings for people and I'll get all these messages saying, that sounds like it's for me. That sounds like it's for me. And one of the reasons for that is because that's what Source wants to do, is it's actually drawing in the exact people that should be here right now listening to these messages. And very often there's going to be a theme. I don't know what the theme today is going to be. We'll sort of see. At the moment, though, I'm feeling quite a lot going on in my head. So I'm interested in whether or not you might be feeling a lot of pressure going on in your head as well. Just going to sort of see who I'm going to be drawn to. So, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Actually going to get my trackpad out because I forgot I actually need it when I am going through the comments. So what I'd like to do before we start off is I want to talk to you a bit about manifestation and abundance and creating the life of your dreams. And if you don't hear anything else from the whole reading and all the messages today, I really want you to listen to the message that I want to deliver for you right now, because it's something that I've been really feeling strongly about talking to, being called to speak on. And I'm really feeling that there's a lot of opportunity for you in the following statements. Okay, so I feel like I need a drum roll, please. Drum roll. So one of the things that I want to talk about is I want to talk about the power of our thoughts, but the power of our emotions. And I've been listening a lot lately to Abraham Hicks and their Power of Emotions book. And that's Esther Hicks, and she channels an entity called Abraham. And I channel as well. So what you might notice later when I do readings for people is sometimes I just channel and speak. And so she does the same thing. So she does that, but she's kind of named the entity that she channels Abraham, but it's actually a collective of spirit. When I talk to you, I'm definitely pulling in guidance from your guides, angels, my guides, and a lot of that comes through. Okay, so where I'm going with this is that I've been sort of getting a lot of reminders about the importance of us listening to our emotions, the importance of us listening to our inner guidance. And without going all on about that, because actually maybe I should record an episode of my podcast about this on the Afterlight podcast. One of the things that I really want to get across to you is that it's very important that you do whatever you can to feel better now. And so when I say that to you, I mean that sometimes we are struggling with issues with physical ailments, with personal relationships, with family matters, with things that are going on in our careers, even just our own mindset and our own mental health. And one of the things that's really important to understand is that you are a sovereign being and you have the potential to be able to completely alter and change your life with just the decision to do that. And I do want to remind you too, that as we move into our session today, that you have the potential to change your complete life. It is up to you. Okay. So everything that I say is coming from a place of love and support, but it's up to you to decide what you do with that information. You have the power. So one of the things that I notice sometimes happens is that we can sometimes get caught up in our own minds, in our own stories, in our own dramas, in the situations that are happening around us, and in the situations, in fact, that are happening around us that are things that we don't want. Okay. So we don't want the price of gas to be what it is. We don't want the price of food to be what it is. We don't want to be working in the career that we're in. We don't want to be spending time with people that, don't make us feel good, but we feel sometimes like we have to, blah, blah, blah. And one of the things that's really important to understand is that when we focus on the things that we don't want, we actually get more of that. Whereas if we start to focus on the things that we do want and we talk about the things that we do want, we actually start to attract more of that instead. And so your homework and the big message here for you today is a lot about taking the time to understand how it is that you're feeling at any given moment and realize that you can change how you feel. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, and I'm not saying that you're going to feel euphoric and joyful and peaceful all the time, because sometimes we just feel down in the dumps and not the best, right? But the thing is that you have a choice in which to stay there and sit in that, or you can do something that will maybe subtly help you to feel a little bit relief or feel a little bit better. So this is really a personal journey, and it's up for you to distinguish and understand as you are navigating through your day, how is it that I'm feeling right now? And if you are feeling anxious, or you're feeling low energy, or you're feeling down, then ask yourself, what can I do to feel a little bit better in this moment? Is there a song that I can listen to? Can I go outside and get some fresh air? Can I go wash my hands or have a drink of water? Can I go say something nice to myself in the mirror and give myself a high five? Can I send a text message to someone that I love and just let them know how supportive they are and how much I appreciate them? So what are the things that you can do in your life on a daily basis to help you to feel a little bit better? And again, I'm not encouraging you to think that you need to go from feeling down and maybe like not yourself to feeling really euphoric and peaceful and all that, because sometimes we actually won't feel that way. But it's about, what can I do to feel a little bit better in this moment? And as we slowly and surely make an intention to feel a little bit better in this moment, what we do is we slowly and surely start to align ourselves, realign in some cases, and align ourselves with our higher self and with the wisdom and the tapping into the source of the universe. And Abraham, they call that the vortex, being in the flow, essentially. And when we are in the flow, what we can do is we can start to attract the things that we want, the things that we dream about, the things we aspire for. The opportunity is really endless. But when we stay trapped in feeling lesser than, or focusing all the things that aren't working well, or getting caught up in all of the challenges that are around us, it's up to us to remember that we can actually, and the Course in Miracles talks about how I could choose peace instead of this. And I'm also, I do this too, by the way. This is not me being like, I'm perfect. No. This is me going, I'm working on this every single day as well, right? Sometimes I've talked about it on this show, and I've talked about it on the podcast before, where sometimes I will literally spiral for quite a while, and it takes me a minute to get out of that. It takes me longer than a minute sometimes to get out of that. But when I remember that I actually would rather feel good or feel a bit better than where I'm at, sometimes that's all I need to do. And I go, oh yeah, wait a minute. So I could actually choose peace instead of this. I could put on a song and have a dance party and feel a little bit better and some relief. That's the word that they want to talk about. They want to talk about how can you feel a little bit of relief in this moment. And so that's your homework. Your homework is to acknowledge and look at where you are at any time during the day. You can set yourself an alarm in your phone to go, how do I feel right now? And if you ever feel anxious or not yourself, maybe a bit low energy, fatigue, that sort of thing, ask yourself, what can I do right now to feel a little bit better? And I will say too, when I'm making decisions, I do not make decisions out of anxiety and stress. When I'm noticing that I'm feeling anxiety, which for me, that's something that I work that I'm improving in, I guess you could say. That's something that I deal with. When I'm feeling anxious, it's not a good time for me to make a decision, right? It's not a good time for me to maybe get on the phone and try to call prospective clients or even do a reading or something like that. When I'm feeling anxious, it's an opportunity for me to go, okay, I've been thinking things that are out of alignment. What can I do now to make myself feel a little bit better? And what I find is that listening to a song or listening to an inspirational tape or reading quotes or watching puppy videos or going for a walk or having a dance party or any of these things are actually things that I can do that really do help me to feel a little bit better. And so I'd like to encourage you to do that too. So if you are new here, please let me know. I am a medium. I am a seer. I do past lives. Last session, we had some past lives coming in. That was super cool. I also work with spirit guides and I do a lot of channeling. I work with spiritual professionals. And one of the things as well is I'm a business mentor and I'm super, super passionate about helping you in your time management because I believe that when we can get on top of our time, we actually get our life back. And when I talk to souls who have passed, one of the things that we know for sure is that even though we don't die, even though we just transform, our physical body here does leave us, right? And so it's about using the time that we have to live the life that we want. Now, we're going to get into a session in a moment here, but I'd like you to join me if you feel comfortable. If you're driving or anything, please keep your eyes open. But if you feel comfortable and you're sitting at home, I'd just like you to close your eyes. And if you feel like it, you can put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your left hand. And I just want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. I just want you to give yourself a couple of moments to just arrive and be here. In through your nose and out through your mouth. And as you're doing that, I want you to feel all the love that you have for one of your good friends. I want you to think of one of your friends, and I want you to think about the things that you love about that person. Just think about that person for a moment and just breathe in all that love. And now I want you to think about maybe one of your pets. If you don't have any pets, maybe somebody else's pet or an animal or even a friend's child. Not that I'm putting them in the same category, but just anyone that just feels good to you. Anybody that you love. Just feel that love for a moment. Now I want you to just breathe in and feel the love of your friends and your family, of maybe your partner, your husband, your wife, your spouse, even your immediate family, brothers or sisters, mothers or fathers, father figures, mother figures, cousins, even aunts and uncles, anyone that you love. Just breathe in that love for a moment. And I just want you to breathe in one more time. And repeat after me if you feel comfortable, or you can just say yes in your mind. I am enough. I am loved. I am supported. I am powerful. I am. So it is, so it is, so it is. All right, let's do some actual readings now. Here we go. And let me know how you felt with that. One of the reasons why I do that is get you to come back into your heart space is because when I'm doing readings, people, when they're feeling good and they're coming back into their heart space as well, it really makes the reading that much more powerful. It really makes it special because we're both on a high vibe. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Amber, I'll go with you. Amber Geller, if you want to let me know if you are here. Danielle Lang, hello. My trackpad is not working. That's okay. Amber, where did you go here, sister? Okay, cool. You are new. Welcome. Thank you all so much for all the beautiful vibes here. I love that you guys are feeling that. One of the things that I've talked about before is if you're ever, we were talking a lot about adjusting. We were talking a lot about making sure that we're making it a priority to feel better in this moment. And sometimes even just putting your fingers on your throat and feeling your own heartbeat is a moment for you to come back into the love that you have for yourself. Even if for some of us, it can be difficult to feel that all the time. It's about making that intention and creating that connection. All right, Amber, let's see what we got going on for you. I'm just going to look, listen, and feel for a moment. Just looking, listening, and feeling, getting the name Rob or Robbie coming through as well, which is interesting. I also felt like I had somebody else earlier coming in, but I don't know if they're here. I mean, they're probably here, but I don't know if they're for you. So we'll just see if that sort of comes in. I'm getting the name Robbie, and I'm feeling like there's like an accent. Like I want to talk about almost like a European, like a British accent there. I don't know if it's like UK or Ireland. Yes, it's like, feels like more of like an Irish or sort of British accent. I guess I'll just say the UK just to keep it kind of vague. So Rob or Robbie, if you want to let me know whether or not that makes sense for you as well. And I wish my trackpad was working, but it's not. All right, that's all good. So let's see what we got here. I just got to block somebody for a moment. Perfect. Okay. Okay. Amber, it might be like from your, I'll see if any more information comes through. So I'm hearing Rob and I'm hearing Robbie, and I'm hearing that a really strong accent. So that's the name that I'm getting. I will also say that I feel like I can hear like a female with an accent as well. So it could be something to do with like your lineage. I'm not sure what your background is or your ancestry. But there's definitely, for me, it sounds British, it sounds from the UK. I can't ascertain right now whether it's Scottish, Irish, or British. So we'll just sort of see what comes through as we go. I am feeling Irish. I'm hearing the word Irish, and I'm feeling like they're talking to me about Ireland and Irish. So just kind of write that down and keep going. I'm going to pull some cards for you as well, and we'll see what comes through here. Okay, just looking and listening and feeling. With you, I'm really drawn to the throat space. So I'm really feeling like there's a communication thing that's happening here. When I'm drawn to this throat space, I feel like I really want to clear my throat. Okay. So it could be that there's something that you need to say that you haven't been saying. So I feel like there's a communication thing that's sort of happening. Could also be a communication within the family system, which is why I'm getting the reference to like the ancestry or the family, bringing it back to the family. So I don't know whether or not there's a communication thing happening in the family or not happening in the family, but I'm drawn to the throat space, and that's all about communication. Normally I don't talk about the family systems when I'm talking about that. I normally go into like the person, feeling like there's something about them, but I think that there may be something going on within the family at the moment. So we'll sort of see. So at the moment, when we look in the past, this is the past affecting you now. We've got the Mountain card, and this is card number 6. And number 6 for me is about family. It's about love. And it's also about coming around the corner and seeing things clearly. Okay. It's about tapping into that intuition. Very often what we do as well is we sometimes think our way into things versus feeling our way into things. When we can feel, we can be led by our emotions. We can actually be guided a little bit easier than our mind. Our thoughts pretend to be important, and our thoughts pretend to be valid. And a lot of the times our thoughts are actually telling us stories that are untrue. So when we can discern that, what is actually true, what is not, we can feel the truth very often in our body versus thinking it. So I hope that makes sense. Now, the Mountain card, when we get the Mountain card, this is in the past position. And I will say as well, I didn't mention earlier, I am using the Enchanted Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. The mountain card, number one, this is a really interesting card. So as we can see here, there's like light being shone on something. We've got the open mouth again, which would be about communication. We also have the color yellow within this card. The color yellow is the solar plexus chakra. That's in the middle, that's in the tummy area. And that for me is all about courage, and it's all about bravery. So it could be a lot about stepping into something and sort of speaking out about what it is that you want or intend. Okay. When we see mountain as well, mountain is a lot about earth. So it could have to do with material things, could also have to do with career. But when we have a mountain as well, it's also about the journey, right? It's like kind of climbing up the mountain to sort of get to the other side. Now, when we look here, we actually have a face within this mountain. And it seems to me that there's like maybe a direction that you can go through. You know, I don't know if that, yeah, I think it was like a song, and it's like, oh, you can't go under it, you can't go over it, can't go around it, you better go through it. So sometimes what we have to do, I get that, is we actually have to go through the thing to get to the other side. And what they're talking about is sometimes on the other side of fear, there's a miracle waiting for you, right? So if you were with me earlier, what I was talking about off the top here, and it may be worth going back and having a listen if you weren't, it was talking about really making sure that when you're making decisions, that you're actually feeling good at the time of making that decision. So if you're feeling unnerved, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're feeling a little bit maybe uncomfortable about something, wait until you feel good, until you're in a position of power before you move forward with that. Okay. Now, in the present position, we have the solitude card. This is card number 13. This could be that you've actually decided to create some space for yourself, or it could also be that that is what you're experiencing now. We've got card number 13. 1 + 3 is a 4. 4 for me is about strength. It's like four legs of a table. So it's a lot about stability and strength. I also get for 4, though, when I get a 4, it's a lot about goal setting. So it's a lot about seeing where you want to go and then sort of achieving and working towards that plan. Now, you always want to remember that a big part about life is experiencing the journey, not only the destination. And as we learn to navigate and listen to our emotions, we will be guided here and there, you know, within, okay, I get that. Oh, yeah. We will be guided here and there. And when we feel good, that's kind of an indication, yes, keep going down that path. When we don't feel anything, like things aren't really moving, maybe stop, get more information. We're not feeling that good. We may need to pivot, change direction. I do feel a bit of anxiety, a bit of nerves as well around this, whatever is going on with you. I actually feel really like nauseous, super nauseous, and a lot going on around the chest as well in the heart space. So it could be that there's a heart space thing that's going on as well, but I do feel really quite nauseous. So I don't know whether or not there's a gut health thing going on or whether or not we're bringing it back to the solar plexus, but there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of nerves around making this decision. The main thing is that you can make the decision when you feel good. You don't have to rush anything, okay? Sleeping on it is sometimes important. Talking out loud, you know, one of the things that I do sometimes is I'll put the windows down in my car. I'll just talk out loud and I'll like really talk to spirit, talk to God. One of the things that you could do is just find a way for you to express yourself in a way that feels safe to you. So you could do some journaling. You can safely burn those pages later if you'd like. You can also talk out loud, like I'm saying. You can meditate. That might be helpful. But I think that for you, it's kind of like understanding that you can do these things and make these decisions in your own time. It doesn't have to be the time of other people. Okay. I get that. What they're talking about as well is they're saying that what's meant for you will not pass you by. So you don't have to worry about hurrying up and rushing. Abraham Hicks and Esther Hicks's teachings in the book, The Power of Our Emotions, which is incredible. And for anyone listening, I really recommend that you go and read it or listen to it. They talk a lot about how we have this real need to act all the time when really we actually just need to get into vibrational alignment in order to allow things to come to us, allow ourselves to receive, right? And so I just want you to be really aware that sometimes we don't have to do any action. We actually need to work on the alignment within self. Oh, I don't think I even showed you that card. So there we go. So we've got like the solitude card. We've got this little lighthouse where, you know, there's like a little home that's sort of here. We also see the element of water here. The element of water is a lot about emotions. And it's a lot about intuition as well. When I'm connecting with you on this energy, I actually really feel sick to my stomach, like really stressed a little bit about it. So you may need to go outside. I get that. You may need to go outside. They're talking about an exercise that you can do. We can go outside with your bare feet and you actually tap on the ground with the heels of your feet. And you imagine that your earth star chakra, which is the chakra located below your feet, it would go into the ground. You can kind of imagine that it may look a bit like a rain cloud right now. And as you tap your heels on there, it actually disperses and all the rain clouds kind of go away and you sort of clear it up. That will really help you with your anchoring. You can also work with Archangel Shekinah. And if you go and you look at Claire Stone's book, The Female Archangels, she has a whole chapter in there all about that. And she really helps with presence. Mother Mary as well is telling me that she can actually work with you too. Mother Mary is Jesus' mother, but can really work with you on self-compassion, self-love, and a lot of healing as well. Okay, in the future, we've got the dry desert. We've got number 31, and 3 + 1 is a 4. 4, again, is that stability. It's also about that goal setting that I was talking to you about before. Because we have the element of desert in here, for me, that's earth. That's a lot about material things. It's a lot about career. But the cool thing about this visual is that this woman is standing really powerful and she's kind of looking at the opportunity. We also see the cactuses there in the far distance, and the cactuses symbolized for me, because they're prickly, it's a lot about like protection, but because they're green and they're kind of growing where there isn't a lot of things, it's really a lot about understanding that we can grow where we're planted and there's a lot of growth to be found. Okay. And then the overall card, I get it. The overall card here is the magical shapeshifter card. And look at how powerful this woman is. You know, I just love that. She's got like the compass in the middle of her there. She's sort of standing balanced in each hand. She's got like little wings on the one side and then the compass, but it also reminds me of a clock. She's standing really strong and fierce though. It's also card number 52, and 5 + 2 is a 7, and 7 is a connection to source. It's the 7th crown chakra. So if you're wanting to do more connection with your spirit guides and your angels, who can only intervene when you ask them, they can only intervene when you ask for help. You could actually do a little bit of meditation, focus on that. One of the things you can do, I'll tell her, is you can actually also give yourself some love. So some love and some healing. So you could actually put maybe your left hand on your heart if that feels comfortable, your right hand on the crown of your head. And that can just lend a little bit of support to that sort of space as an intention of connecting with your guides and your divine purpose. But a big thing that you want to think about is that your emotions, or you want to feel into, is that your emotions are actually your connection to your higher self. And when we are connected to our higher self, that's a lot through our crown, right? Is our connection to divine. When we are doing that, then we're really aligned and we can make decisions that really serve us and that support us. They want me to take one more card for you, so I'll do that now. Okay, we also have card number 36 here. This is really interesting. This is the commitment card. So this could be a commitment with you and somebody else deciding to make that commitment. I absolutely love that coming together. It could also be you connecting to your higher self and you choosing yourself. Because we have this beautiful hand that's kind of coming from the top and the other one that's coming from the bottom. This is a lot about the yin and the yang. It's like the give and the take. It's about the giving and the receiving. So it could be a lot about that connection to source and your commitment to your path. Okay. But we also get card number 30. It's number 36. So 3 + 6 is 9. So 9 for me, when I get a 9, it's all about end of cycle and sort of preparing for the next phase. So that could be a little bit about that as well. So I'm just going to see, if you have any messages. So you're just saying, I love that beautiful card. Oh, I'm glad you do. I don't know if you, oh yes. I think you're talking about that you've been listening to Abraham Hicks. Yes, I listen to her a lot. It really helps me a lot with making decisions. Just kind of like reminding myself that I'm really tuned in to source energy, and I just need to sometimes get out of my head and get into my emotions so I can feel that connection. So I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. And I hope that you found that that was helpful. And if the Robbie Scottish-Irish connection comes through for you, if you want to just send me a DM and let me know. But I think today was a big message for you about, just sort of understanding that everything happens in the divine timing and we don't have to force things. All right. So, yeah. And you're saying, yeah, I try to get out of my head. Yeah, we all do. We all do. All right. Thank you for sharing and letting me read for you. I'm just going to break my connection with you guys up there. Thank you. All right. Let's just see who else we've got. I'm just going to have a quick drink of water because I'm very thirsty. Okay. If you would like a reading, please let me know. And if anyone is new, please let me know as well. I see my friend Dixie's on here. Dixie, let's pull a couple cards for you, shall we? Dixie, if you're here, can you let me know? It's funny, Dixie, because as soon as I connect with your energy, I'm getting lights, camera, action. And I know that you were doing some modeling, or that you're getting into that. So that's very interesting. So they're showing me like a scene with like a photo shoot, but like for a catalog. I feel like there's a catalog, but then I'm hearing lights, camera, action in the background. So that's very funny. I would love to know whether or not that's happened for you yet. All right, so let's see what we can bring through here for you. I feel like this is not the deck. I've got to change. So I'm going to just change decks and we shall see. Okay, so what I do feel is like I do want to talk about an older woman coming through. I do want to put her and say that she's North American or American. And I do want to talk about yodeling. And I want to talk about little lady who, like that kind of yodeling. And when I do that, I actually want to cry. Like I feel really upset. Not, just in like a loving way, like really emotional when I'm connecting with her. I want to talk about like someone in their 80s and line dancing and wearing jeans and like wearing like a plaid shirt. And I'm feeling a lot of emotion when I'm connecting with this person's energy, a lot. I don't know if there's like an R name connected with this person, like a Rose or something. I know I was saying earlier to somebody about a Robin, a Robbie, but that name is coming up again. I really want to find out where this person belongs, but there's like an R name, like a Rose or something like that. Now Rose could also be the flower rose if there's a significance for you, but there's a lot of emotion coming through. I'm just going to see if I can pull into any or tap into anything else. When I'm talking to this person, connected with this person as well, I'm feeling a lot of physical here, like in the throat and the heart, but I've got to say that at the moment, I'm just feeling so much emotion that's kind of overpowering that. So whether or not there's something that went on in the heart space, but for me, it's all about love. I'm just feeling so much love, like awash with love. I also want to talk about a dog. Interesting. It's like can I just get my guides to strengthen that a little bit more, please? Is there like a Rusty or something? There's like some R name. If I could get my guides to just help me like hear, see a little bit stronger, please. You turn that all up. The dog, it's kind of like a dog that would live on a property. I'm thinking it's light brown. It's like medium to large. I want to talk about like a German Shepherd, but it doesn't look like a German Shepherd, but I'm hearing German Shepherd, but I'm having a hard time getting the actual breed. I'm not a dog breed expert, by the way, but I am having that dog come in. I also want to talk about like life on the farm. I want to talk about horses. And when I say horses, like I really want to cry. There's like a lot of emotion around horses. I want to talk about horse saddles. There's a horse in particular as well that's like brown, really brown with like a really beautiful coat. I don't know what it is about this particular horse. It's like I want to talk about the name Shadow, but I'm getting that name. But this horse is like the coat is brown and very shiny and very beautiful, and there's like a real connection to this horse. So I'm just feeling a lot of emotion when I'm connecting with all this. I'm just going to have a look and see if any of this is making sense for you. Okay, so I don't think you're connecting with, you had a Roddy many years ago. Definitely not a Roddy coming through here. You said, yes, you breed a lot of quarter horses. Okay. And what about the older woman here? I'm not sure. There's something with the yo lady who here. So I would love to know whether or not, and sometimes Dixie, it may be that this makes sense a little bit later as well. But as always, I always have to deliver all the messages that I get. Okay, so we'll just see if more information comes through as well. And I'm going to pull a couple of cards for you. Can I just get you to stand like behind? I do feel like this older woman is on like the mother side of the family. So I don't know if it's your mom or her mom, but there's a connection to the mother side of the family. I also feel like she's kind of like branched off a little bit. So it could be like an aunt or a cousin. So it's kind of like mother and grandmother here. She kind of stands slightly to the right of that. So just for a little bit of context for her. I can't get over the yodeling kind of stuff. And I can't get over the like, it's interesting when she shows me the line dancing, she's actually showing me like a barn and then line dancing and then people in rows line dancing. And she's showing me that the barn, this is like a memory, by the way. So there's remember, it's like the barn is dusty, and the floor is wood, and then everyone's in line. And I feel like we've got the cowboy hats going, and we've got people in their checkered shirts, and everyone in a line. And then there's like a band in the front. I feel like there's even the the cliche hay bells kind of outside the barn or in there. Like it's a real memory or an interesting scene. So I would love to know. So you're saying I have an Aunt Pam who I was close to. Okay. Oh. Okay. Your aunt used to take you to bars in Texas to dance and rodeos. That seems like that makes a bit of sense. Thank you very much. Aunt Pam. That would make sense because she is to the right of where I would see mom and grandma. So I can see her coming through. So that's really cool. Did she do any yodeling is what we're dying to know. What is the yodeling? Okay, I'm going to pull a couple cards for you too, my sister. Let's see what we get. Thank you for validating that as well. When I'm connecting here as well with the energy, it's a lot of throat stuff going on. So I don't know if there was like a respiratory thing for how she passed or something going on with the maybe unable to speak. I feel like I really want to clear my throat, and like my throat is very sore as well. So there's definitely something that's sort of going on with here. Okay, so you said, yes, your mom's sister, but no yodeling. Okay, well, let me know if maybe that shows up at another time. Maybe you'll remember the reference, or maybe there will be some random yodeling song on the radio and you'll know that that's Pam trying to get your attention. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Also, I'd love to know, did Pam have a dog that was like what I was talking about earlier, sort of brownish, light brown, kind of like shaggy dog, medium to large breed. I feel like would have shed a lot, almost like a bit of a mutt, but really friendly. And I feel like it's a male dog also. Okay, so you're saying she had cancer and your mom died. I don't know if I'm feeling, it's possible your mom's here, but because, you know, we're short on time at the moment, I'll just tell you any impressions that come in. And we'll see. I do want to talk about, is the rose significant as well? They are talking to me. It's like they showed me a bouquet of flowers, but then I heard rose again coming through. So whether or not that was someone's favorite flower, or it's a red rose as well. By the way, it's a red rose. All right, I'll let you think about that for a second. I'm going to see what I did with your cards here. Okay, so in the past position and affecting you now, we've got card number 30. And this is shining through. And this is so beautiful. I absolutely love that. There's a flower reference too, by the way, which is interesting. But in the middle, it's kind of like in the center. When I look at this card, I think of a heart. Because it's number 30 as well. 3 plus 0 is a 3. 3 is all about creativity. Could also be about pregnancy. Maybe someone in the family is pregnant, although I could also be new ideas. 333 is also ascended masters and connecting with the ascended masters. So when I'm getting this card for you, this is a lot about expansion. So I think it's a lot about expansion, creativity, stepping into new avenues, exploring new avenues. I'm also feeling a bit of pain in my right knee. So whether or not you're feeling pain in your right knee as well, or whether or not there's some fear around moving forward, because when we get knee pain, by the way, anyone who's got knee pain, that's a lot about feeling a bit nervous about moving forward. In the current position, we've got the higher view card. This is a woman that's riding on a bird, which is so beautiful. Owls for me are all about wisdom. They also unlock the portals into other dimensions. When we get a bird in any reading, at least for me, it's always about looking at things from an objective point of view. Can you kind of rise above a situation? So is there something that's sort of going on in the situation? Can you look above it? Can you look at it objectively without being so immersed into it? Sometimes what happens is we get really wrapped up in our stories that we forget that if we can actually just sort of step out of the situation for a minute, we get a better perspective. This is also card number 41. 4 plus 1 is a 5. 5 for me is about foundation. It's also about middle of the road, and it's also about change. It could be new direction, trying new things. For you right now, I feel like this is a lot about exploring new opportunities and looking at things from an objective point of view without feeling, I'll tell her, without feeling as though you have to commit to any one direction. They're also talking about listening. I actually been meaning to message you, checking out Abraham Hicks and the book Power of Your Emotions. The audiobook, I'm listening to it again for like the 6th time on Empower You Radio. Okay, in the future card, we have card number 7, and this is a deep breath. And this is 7 is all about crown chakra. It's all about connecting to the divine. It's all about connecting with our higher self and really honoring to our purpose. When we see here as well, we see the beautiful a beautiful flower. I think that's a lotus flower for the crown chakra. That's all about opening up to spirit, opening up to our own connection. I get that. What they're talking about though is that we don't want to be so high up here that we're forgetting to activate our lower chakras as well. So keeping grounded, making sure you're going out and you're walking around on the property and things of that nature would be very important for you. Okay. Because as we expand up here, sometimes what happens is we forget to anchor here. One of the things that sometimes happens with spiritual people is we tend to kind of be off with the fairies in La La Land and not always here. And I'm guilty of it too. Not always here on earth. So sometimes it can be, you know, a little bit difficult to balance balance the two worlds. One of the things that I do is I work with essential oils like cinnamon, cedarwood, sandalwood, things like that to really kind of help ground and anchor me. Lifting your toes, putting them back down, yoga, doing anything like that would be really good to help us sort of be down here. Okay. But I feel like for you stepping into a lot of your path, like really being alignment, they're kind of showing me like they're showing me this pathway, and then they're showing me that you're off the path. And then they're showing me that they're kind of like pushing you and kind of realigning you and straightening you up. So one of the things about that book, The Power of Your Emotions, is about noticing what your emotions are telling you. And off the top here, I was talking a lot about the importance of making sure that we're listening to our emotions so that we feel better, that we feel good, okay? That we do anything we can to bring about a little bit of relief in our life. So for you, I want you to pay attention to your emotions. I want you to pay attention to when things feel good to you. If they don't feel so good, if you feel a little bit of anxiety or a little bit of stress, you don't have to make a decision right away. Just sleep on it or wait until you feel good about your next step. Now, in the overarching card, this is the card that kind of trumps everything. We have the Healing of the Heart card. I love this card. This is just so incredibly beautiful. This is card number 23. 2 plus 5 is again the 5 foundation, middle of the road. It's also about that change. For you, one of the things that they're talking about is doing some mirror work. So if you want to look up Louise Hay and mirror work, I don't know if I've talked to you about it before. Mel Robbins also has a cool idea called the high five habit. But the idea would be that you actually take a bit of time every day to talk to yourself in the mirror, to give yourself encouragement. And I feel like for you, that's going to be a really nice way of getting back into your heart space. One of the things that we did too off the top, I'm not sure if you were there for that, is actually taking the time to breathe in the love we have for our friends, breathe in the love we have for our family, breathe in the love we have for our animals, and breathe in the love that we have for ourselves, and really connect to our heart space. The heart is actually the portal for everything. It's the portal for our expansion. It's a portal for our ability to be able to receive information, receive guidance, and really be connected and tapped into the source energy. On the bottom card, this is the card that's kind of like everything's sort of sitting on, the anchor card. We've got the tender embrace card, which is card number 22. This is also giving me goosebumps on my right side. Right side's masculine, okay? So this, for me, I feel like it's a relationship. It's a deepening of a relationship, because we also have elephants here. Elephants are a lot about family systems. When I also work with elephant energy or think about the elephant energy, it's a lot about wisdom. It's also about memory. It's also about lineage and like the connection of family. So I feel like there's like a deepening of an embrace here. So for you, really, there's a lot of love. There's a lot of expansion. And I feel the more that you tap into that, I get that. They're talking about not worrying about trivial things that don't matter, to remember to rise above the things that feel like they're important, but actually are not. They're talking about looking at all the things to appreciate and be grateful for. Okay, so I want to thank Pam for being here, and I would love to hear if that resonated with you. I'm just going to look back on some of the comments, and okay, so Dixie, you're saying that Rose was your girlfriend's mother that passed last year. So that sometimes happens, is people come through and they're connected to other people. Thank you for that. I'm also wondering whether or not there was a throat connection with her, because the minute I said Rose, all of a sudden going on with the throat. Now, it could be that that was the way that Rose passed. Could also be about that there's a communication thing that's kind of going on. Whether she couldn't talk or whether there was things that were kind of left unsaid. One of the things that I would say is that if your girlfriend is feeling that there were things that were left unsaid, writing a letter to her mother, Rose, would be very good. She will receive that. Okay, so I hope that you found that that was helpful. Okay. And yes, thank you for that. And thank you for letting me read for you. I'm going to break my connection with you too as well. Thank you. All right, so we've got quite a few people watching across all my channels. One of the things that I will say is that my name's Lauren Grace. If you haven't already heard me read before, I'm the owner-operator of Lauren Grace Inspirations. I'm a business mentor and a medium and a seer. I do past lives. I work with spirit guides, and I'm super passionate about helping spiritual professionals to save time. I've just launched an incredible, powerful productivity online course, and I also have a free masterclass. So if you are looking to set boundaries, learn to say no, learn to deal with overwhelm, just in the comments, I actually have access to my free masterclass. I would love for you to join me. But if you are looking for some assistance and some help with time management, I'm going to put a link for it as well there, which will connect you to my online course. And you actually get 12 sessions with me, 12 Zoom sessions, all about productivity, where I'm actually live and I can talk to you and help you. So it's an awesome investment. Okay, what I'd like you to do now, because we have 10 minutes left, I'd like to read for someone else. But before I do that, I would like to do my famous 1, 2, 3 readings. So if you would like a reading, I'd like you to think of a question or something that you're looking for some guidance on. I want you to choose card number 1, card number 2, card number 3. I'm not going to use this deck because I don't feel like it. It's just not feeling like that was the deck for Dixie, but it's not the deck for this. So if you want to go ahead, let me know in the comments if you are a 1, 2, or a 3. And I'm going to read from this deck, which is the Elemental Oracle from Stacey DeMarco, which is an absolutely gorgeous deck. Let me know if you're a 1, 2, or 3. And one of the things that's really important to remember is that there is guidance for you. If you are listening, there is guidance for you in the cards, in the messages. So sometimes it could just be one thing that you need to hear. And so I really hope that you're listening. And sometimes we like hang out and we're listening for only the things that we want to hear and not the message that spirit wants us to know. So maybe we can do what Dixie's card was talking about and look at it from an objective point of view for a moment. That's a reminder that they're asking me to give you. Okay, great. So I see a lot of ones, I see a lot of twos, and I see quite a few threes. So that's always good. I don't know about you, but I always choose the same number, which I'm not going to tell you, but I'd love to know if other people change, if they feel into the number, or they just always choose the same one. All right, here we go. Card number 1. So this is the solidity card. This is the inner core card, and this is card number 18. And 1 + 8 is a 9. 9 is all about a coming together. It's also a culmination of things. So it's like things wrapping up as we prepare for the next phase. Because we have like the 2 faces as well, this is really showing the 2 facets of self. Whenever I get like a balance or 2s like that, it always reminds me as well of the importance of having balance, the yin and the yang, the giving and the receiving, the understanding that when we know what we don't want, we know what we do want, experiencing life and seeing the light and the shade as well, right? It's all about kind of having that. Anytime I talk about balance, I always remember that meme, and it says, a balanced appetite is having a cupcake in each hand. Anyway, just I digress. But this card is a lot about sort of solidity, so like bringing everything kind of together. So it seems to me that there was a bit of a separation here. So it's like bringing things together. So whether or not you've been working on a project, you're kind of wrangling everyone in, whether or not you've kind of been feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe you want to take my free masterclass, by the way, if that is you. The link is in the show, in the comments there. But it's really about solidifying and bringing everything kind of together. I feel like if we've been too much in our head, bringing us down, grounding a little bit more. Okay. So it's really kind of like, I get that. One of the things that I learned a little while ago, especially this is really good if you're empathic, from my friend Martina, and she is the founder of the Guide to Light app, which is a psychic development app. Anyway, so she talks about how if your aura is too expansive, you would go like 1, 2, 3 on your fingers to kind of move it out and feel the energy around you. You can go 3, 2, 1 to bring it in. This, for me, this card is a lot about bringing it in, bringing it in. They also want to talk about the importance of clearing and cleansing your energy and making sure that you're taking care of that. Okay. On my podcast, the Afterlight podcast, new episodes every Thursday. We'll put a link to that in the moment here. So I've just put a link to that now. There's so many episodes on there about helping you manage your energy and clearing and cleansing your energy. Okay. Also, I do mention some of that stuff, including mindset stuff, in my free masterclass. Number 2. So for my people, number 2. Oh, this is great. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. Number 1, I absolutely love the colors within it. It's a lot of purples and a lot of blues. So a lot of indigo. So indigo is really third eye. So it's a lot about intuition, seeing things clearly. And then purple is all about crown chakra and connecting with our divine purpose and our higher self. This is all about new beginnings. But as we can see here, this woman is like really looking about where it is that she wants to go. And you can see all of the sacred geometry within that. And she's really focused. It's almost as though she's got her eye on the prize. We also have card number 3. Number 3 here. 3 is all about ascended masters. So you could be working with the ascended master. You could be somebody who has information that's able to teach other people as well. It's also about creativity, new ideas, and it could be about pregnancy as well. Okay. When we see here as well, we see the word east, but we also see the word beginnings. All right. So it's talking about the direction of east. So whether or not you're looking at moving, that may be a direction that you kind of entertain and you look at. But we're also talking about beginnings in terms of moving forward from here. Now, one of the things that they're talking about that's really exciting and very, very cool is that as we navigate and go through life, we have an opportunity to restart all the time. You know, a new segment of the day is me and the show. At the end of the show, well, I'll be done and I'll go on to my next segment. Before the show, I was in another segment. So it's kind of like noticing that we have all these chapters and all of these different opportunities in our day and in our life in order to reset and restart. So you can actually start a new beginning at any time. You could decide right now, hell, I want a new beginning, and this is what I want. They want to talk about the importance of going back to maybe what I was talking about before, If you are just joining me now, at the top of the hour, I talked a lot about a manifestation and how to start to manifest. And a big part about that is to be really cognizant of your emotions, really feel into what your emotions are telling you, which will let you know whether or not you're on the right track. Okay. For yourself. And remember, you have the power to change your life at any time. You are a sovereign being. And card number 3 here, we have magnetism, and this is the attraction card, and this is card number 37. So I guess today is a lot about manifestation. It's a lot about being aware that the vibes that we put out are attracting things to us that we do or do not want. It's about talking about things that we do want to attract, not the things that we don't want to attract, right? Sometimes we want to focus on the things that aren't working so well, when actually if we started to talk about all the things that are working really well, we can actually line ourselves up for more success. So this card here, we have a beautiful little child, and they are just dreaming, and they're looking at the sky, and they're seeing the unlimited potential that is there. And I love that because it's about looking at things through the eye of the child, tapping into the inner child, looking at the possibility. I get that. They're saying, who were you before the world got in the way? Sometimes when we're trying to figure out our passions or where we want to go, we really want to look back on the things that really drew us in and connected to us as children. Because when we came through as children, we were really connected to our being still, really connected with our divine purpose. So what was it, the things that you were interested in doing as a child? And are you doing some of that now? Or can you start to dabble a little bit? This is also card number 37. 3 plus 7 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 is new beginnings, new start, new direction, new ideas. So for you, I would really like to encourage you to try out some new things. So that is the end. That is the end. I only have 1 minute, so I'm not going to be, unfortunately, able to give you another reading. I just see somebody spamming people. Sorry about that. I will block them. And I want to thank you very much for being here. And if you would like to register for my free masterclass, it's all about time management. If you are a spiritual professional and you are struggling with time management, you want to double your productivity so you can get back a life of freedom, then I really want to strongly encourage you to check out my online course where you actually get access to me, 12 sessions, 1 a month for the whole year, where I sit here and literally help you with your productivity. So that in itself is worth $1,800, believe it or not. So I would take full advantage of that. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this. Thank you for following me over on Instagram and also the Afterlight on podcast as well. And yes, talk to you soon. And thank you very much. And goodbye. And Jared is saying, another one that thinks she's God. You don't need her to tell you what you should do when you can figure it out yourself. Jared, I don't think you've been listening at all, mate, because that's exactly what I've been saying. So thank you very much. And I will talk to you guys next time. This episode has been brought to you by me and my business, Lauren Grace Inspirations. I am a channel of the light and work with spirit guides, angels, the higher self, and passed over loved ones to provide you with support, clarity, and encouragement. Using oracle cards, mediumship, and clairvoyance, my readings will leave you feeling comforted and empowered. I have various reading options available, ranging from 30-minute readings to 60-minute readings to group sessions. I also work with professionals to help them gain clarity in business and life purpose. To book a reading with me, simply head to laurengraceinspirations.com.